This is Sean's Corner, where all my ideas are anything but square. The Beverly Hillbillies is a favorite show of mine. It is unforgettable. It is a riotous comedy show based in Beverly Hills, California. Beverly Hills. It featured the family of Jed Clampett, played by Buddy Ebsen, who struck oil in the mountains of Tennessee. He makes billions of dollars and decides to move his family to the posh Beverly Hills area. The Clampetts are traditional Tennesseans that don't fit in with the fancy Beverly Hills lifestyle. What a culture shock it is. They feel very out of place in the upper class city. The show's as funny because it was always about the Clampetts adjusting to lifestyle that was the total opposite of theirs. I really enjoy the hijinks of the character Granny. She doesn't take guff from nobody. She's as tough as a box of nails. She always has her rifle loaded and ready for a fist fight at all times. Jed has a hilarious line that he says, "Ooh, doggy." He is a friendly family guy who just wants his family to enjoy the finer things in life. He is wise and always helps out other characters with life situations. The other characters I like are Ellie, played by Donna Douglas, Jethro Clampett, played by Max Baer. Ellie is a nature lover who is most comfortable during more male-dominated things, like wrestling. Jethro is gung-ho and not very smart. Jed has to explain a lot of things to the both of them because they are naive. The show can be described as dry humor with some quick, zany one-liners and some slapstick humor that I enjoy. I used to watch it on CKCO Channel 13 in Kitchener. It would carry the Hillbillies every weekday at 12:30. This was way back in the 90s. Beverly Hillbillies was run from 1962 to 1971 on CBS. Even now, the show is still rerunning on CHCH every weekday at 11 a.m. After the show was canceled, there were two other spin-off shows called Green Acres and Petticoat Junction. These shows were very different because the characters were sophisticated city folks that ended up living in the country. I'd rather be in the country. One of my favorite scenes is when Granny goes after this giant jackrabbit, which is really a kangaroo. It is funny because Granny wants to catch and eat the jackrabbit, but Jed thinks that Granny's into the jug. So he's refusing to help her and thinks she's just drunk. Granny always sees the kangaroo when she's on her own and doesn't really know it's a kangaroo. The episode is based off of people thinking she's nuts when she describes a 5-foot-tall jackrabbit. What a barrel of laughs. Beverly Hillbillies will always be an iconic show to me. I enjoy the characters, the humor and silly predicaments. The show came out in 1962 and is still funny to this day. I plan on continuing to watch it with my family, old and young. Everyone finds it hilarious.
Maybe tomorrow I wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
I would always watch The Littlest Hobo at noon on Saturdays on CFTO Channel 9, based out of Toronto. I became interested in the show in the 1980s because the theme song caught my attention. I then realized it was a fun show. I enjoyed the action, and there were very diverse episodes that kept me interested and coming back to watch. It's a show about a smart, sleuthing German Shepherd dog that gets into adventurous situations. He's like the Lenny Kravitz song, he's always on the run. He's an ownerless dog that finds trouble and mystery on his travels. He has a mind of his own and doesn't want to have an owner. He prefers to make friends, help people, and then be on his way. He uses his smarts to get the bad guy and solve cases. There are some of the situations can be dangerous or violent, while others are mild like sabotage at sporting events. The Littlest Hobo is very similar to other characters like Rin Tin Tin and Lassie. The dog is the star of the show. The Littlest Hobo is a Canadian classic TV show and movie. The TV show was based off a movie of the same name, released in 1958. The show first broadcasted from 63 to 65. It was received many years later by CTV from 79 to 85. The Littlest Hobo's real name is actually London. The main character was also played by London's three other siblings. All four dogs were owned by Chuck P. Eisenman. His training methods were interesting because he would train his dogs to know German, English, and French. He wanted his dogs to be able to think and understand very specific directions and to recognize colors. The interesting thing about London and its siblings was they had characteristics that weren't liked by breeders. They had a reverse mask, which meant it was lighter on the lured around the eyes. To conclude, The Littlest Hobo will always be a favorite show of mine because of all the exciting episodes. You never know what you're going to get. I respected The Littlest Hobo because he was a very intelligent dog that conquered many situations and helped people, but he never asked for anything in return. That is a very noble act for a dog. Even though the show ended in 1985, I'm still able to watch reruns on Animal Planet that play Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. There must be still a voice calling the Littlest Hobo because he keeps moving on.